All right. We're in business.
Oh, we're just rolling.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
We're just going, bro. We're just going. What's up? I'm Groovy Dave. Welcome to the Groovy Dave podcast, where, I get to sit down with some fun friends from the Atlanta music scene, and we get to talk about music, their inspirations, and what makes them them. Today's guest is a good friend of mine. Just dropped an incredible album called Delusion. It's on all streaming platforms. Highly recommend that you check it out. He's an amazing guitarist. He's one of my favorite vocalists in the scene. And on top of that, is an absolutely god-tier producer and masterer. Did all of the stuff for his own album, Delusion. Lead singer and guitarist for Endovia, Brendan frickin' Page.
Hey.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Excited to get this done. Get this out there, let the people see. But what's been going on, man?
Not a lot. Kind of finally feeling like, after getting the album out, everything's kind of chilled out a little bit.
Yeah.
After working on everything for so long. So not a lot, just kind of gearing up for some spring shows and kind of getting in the right headspace to start working on the next one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's sick. How did the release show go?
The release show was crazy. It was awesome. We had Gray Water and Frigga 5 and Intention on there, and we felt
that was a killer bill.
Yeah, we had support from good friends, and the community was out there, and it was solid. It was awesome.
From a fan's perspective, I mean, I wasn't just a fan because, worked in some stuff, but also just from a fan perspective, dude, it was phenomenal. I had the time of my life. I mean, I know you saw me up there.
Yeah, I saw you. No, it was a great time. It was an awesome night.
Yeah, no, it was freaking awesome, dude. So yeah, we're here to discuss an album that plays a pretty significant role in your creativity, I would say.
For sure. Yeah.
Would you like to share the name of that album with these fine listeners and viewers?
Yeah, Down on the Upside. That's probably my the album that influenced me the most as a musician. Yeah.
No, I mean, Soundgarden is just phenomenal in general.
Yeah. For sure. Holy grail for me.
Oh yeah. No, it was. I remember when we originally discussed you being on the podcast and stuff, and you kind of sent me that album. I don't want to say this out, it's not like I'm trying to talk shit about the album. I was just surprised because that, I feel like it's not the first album that people tend to go to with Soundgarden.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. A lot of people would go either
Super Unknown
or Bad Motorfinger, but
yeah.
For me, their last, well, not their last studio album because they put out King Animal, but their last one in the 90s, that was I feel like they really settled into who they were at that point. They had really matured as a band, and I just think the songs are top notch.
Oh yeah. When did you first hear it?
Gosh. Honestly, I don't think I first listened to that album until maybe I was 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I was really, really big into Nirvana throughout my whole childhood and stuff. But I heard Down on the Upside probably when I was 19 or 20, and it was right at the beginning of when I was getting actually playing in bands.
Okay.
So it was kind of all I was trying to figure out how to be a musician and listening to that album. And we had experienced a loss in the family too. So I was listening to the shit out of the album, after all of that. So I kind of bonded with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. No, I feel like a lot of your most influential albums or like a lot of your favorite albums always come in like a time where it's like in like an odd way. It's like you kind of just like needed to hear that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was like for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me what are some of your favorite songs off of that?
I think I want to say it's tough. I go back and forth on like, because I've been listening to the album for so many years now.
Yeah.
So I kind of go back and forth on like what my favorite ones are. "Burden in My Hand," I think, is a like killer song.
Love that one.
"Overfloater." Probably those two, I think, are my favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
What was like you talk about how like you originally like you loved Nirvana, and then it was like around 1920 you start listening to this album, and it was right around when you were starting to play in bands and stuff like that. So like talk about that kind of transition and like how those two kind of paralleled themselves. I don't know if I'm asking that the right way.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so like prior to listening to the album, I really wasn't doing like much singing.
Okay.
So like I was really, really into guitar. Like played drums a little bit when I was a kid. So like kind of going through like my Nirvana-ish phase, or however you want to say it, like I was really just exploring a lot of guitar stuff and figuring out how to play my instrument. And by the time I really got into like some actual bands where you're like, okay, let's play in a show and stuff like that. It's not just like, getting together in the garage or basement. I kind of like got into that album at the same time as I started trying to figure out how to sing.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a really like pivotal moment for me musically. Because I hadn't really figured my voice out yet.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I bonded with that album, and I started figuring out how to sing through listening to that album. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense because I mean like you have a very unique voice.
Thanks.
And like it's it's one of my favorite things about like your artistry. Like you have like a very it's not like me like talking shit about other vocalists and stuff like that in the scene. But like no, like your voice, I don't think there's like other vocalists that really sound like you here. And yeah, no, like it's like not a knock against anybody else, but more so just like cool for you. Like that's what makes you you. No, because like we've had conversations about it before, like in terms of like Chris Cornell and just like that specific influence as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, like you have this really cool range that you can hit where you're like, you'll be up here, and I forgot it was Without a Cost off of your album.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to it, and then it was like, towards like the latter half of the song, you like rip a scream, and I was like, not expecting that. And so I was like, I think it's really cool, just like your vocal range and variability that you have. It's just, yeah, it's a really cool thing.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
But talk to me about just that whole process of finding your voice and like, with, just like you said, like listening to Soundgarden kind of helped along that road.
Yeah, it was really awkward for like a long time. I felt like, it was an awkward experience because I tend to worry a lot about what other people are gonna think of me.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out how to like confidently sing and explore my voice was kind of it was difficult. It kind of took me really like quite a few years to settle into what I felt like was actually me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Dude, I'm sorry.
You're totally fine, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of just doing, goofy stuff in the car and just pushing myself
Yeah.
in a setting where I felt like nobody could pick at me or, I just felt like I was in a spot where I could
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you
like
know.
that's a safe space of like, okay, yeah, this is where
For
I
sure.
can kind of like hone it in.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
honestly, it probably wasn't until like I started playing with all of these guys, just because like John's my brother,
Yeah.
Cole's my cousin. We've known Chet since we were all kids, so I felt like in a way safer environment
yeah.
where I could be myself like all the way,
Yeah.
and I didn't have to worry because I already had such a great relationship with everyone.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the right environment for me to really like figure out how to settle into myself.
Yeah. Okay. So, talk to me about like what were the things that you took from Chris Cornell's performance on that album that kind of helps you figure out your voice?
I think I think that album probably helped me figure out how to try to like move dynamically throughout the song.
What do you mean by that?
Like some like just because like you can like really just go all the way on a part doesn't mean that you necessarily should. Like sometimes like the section really calls for like dropping it kind of down an octave or lower or softer or whatever, and then like blasting into the chorus real big and then kind of bringing it down again, or some songs maybe just the whole thing is just kind of a little bit more reserved because like that's the feel or the message that you're trying to get across. I think like when I started figuring out how to push my voice, it really helped me just like figure out how to use it appropriately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's like, I mean, that's one of the things that I love about Soundgarden, specifically like with Chris Cornell, because like, I mean, especially if we're talking in like that era of music, he's the best vocalist in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
And just like
No
when
doubt.
you talk about just like the dynamics of your vocals and like how to properly use that, I really do feel like he is far and away the best at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
like
really is.
the song that I'm about to bring up, it's not on this album, but 4th of July
Oh yeah.
is like the prime example of like what to me like what you're saying,
Yeah, for sure.
because like the main track of his vocals is very just to the point.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know
And
what you
then
mean.
he layers his vocals with a secondary track where he is just going off.
Yeah, right.
Like it's the
kinda
coolest. It's the coolest thing.
Tucked in there a little bit, but yeah.
But like if you reverse the roles, that song does not work at all.
Oh yeah, if you flip the
Yeah.
vocal parts, yeah, it definitely needs kind of like that droning, driving thing that's kind of pushing it along. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and like it's just, to what you were saying, like I feel like that's definitely something like I can see like how you take from that, because like you are very good about like picking your spots and like knowing the right moment to just go. And when you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna chill here. And so like I was like, that's why I was like curious about like some of the things that you took, especially vocally, because like like I know that's a huge influence for you. And like obviously we're here to talk about that. So, but not just on the vocals though, but then because like you do so much. You really do. You do so much. It's like, especially just for Endovia, like you do a lot, dude. And so like don't get shy on me.
I'll do my best.
But like talk to me. I'm just making sure. Okay, I was just making sure that my levels were fine.
Oh yeah.
But we kind of talked on the vocal piece of it, but talk to me about just like the guitar and like your style of playing, and like would you say that you take from them a lot as well?
Yeah, I definitely take from them quite a bit, guitar work wise. There's a thing that they do in some songs where they do a lot of like, a section will have like both major and minor kind of like chord progressions, or sometimes it'll be something that's kind of like everything's very like minor, but then like a major lead will come over the top of it and just kind of makes this, I don't know, this sound that I really like. So they were a huge influence on me guitar wise too. And then, like Nirvana and Adam Jones from Tool too, for sure.
Okay, so where and how and when did you get into production?
So when I want to say like maybe 13, I was already playing guitar for a minute. I think I started playing guitar maybe like 8 or 9.
Okay.
And my mom got me, I think it was my mom that got it for me, but like a little Tascam, like all-in-one 8-track recorder, and it had like an SD card on it.
Yeah.
So you could like, I would like put 2 guitar layers down and then add like a bass track, but I didn't have a bass when I was a kid. So I would just like use the low string of the guitar and then re-EQ all the frequencies. And then, take like my Yamaha keyboard and just play like finger drums, under it. And then that's really when I first started like documenting ideas or trying to put things down to where I could listen back and, like write songs and stuff. So probably like 13, 14, I really started getting into like using an 8-track recorder.
Yeah. No, and like talk to me more about just the progression of like you started when you were like young.
Yeah.
And like we're here now, and like I mean I hear the stuff that you work on, and like it's really fucking good. And it is not an easy thing to do. I've heard many of songs, demoed and produced and all that stuff by many of people. And, like it's always a fun thing to do, because it's like, oh, like I want to hear like, the stuff before it comes out. But then also sometimes like I'll hear it, I'm just like, sounds great, bro.
It's hard, dude. Yeah, it's tough. I think recording yourself or recording other people or whatever, whichever way you're doing it, it's really difficult. It's like an instrument itself, to a degree. It's like its own kind of art or whatever. I'm not totally convinced that I'm very good at it yet, but
you do a pretty good job, bro.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like starting with like using the 8-track, I kind of worked my way. Like I used that for like a long time, probably years. And then um, when I went to school I went for audio production. I didn't end up finishing because I felt like, oh wow, I'm about to do a however much this is going to cost degree for things that I could just sit on YouTube and watch.
Yeah. We can get into that one later.
Yeah.
Because I can relate to that.
Yeah, for sure, dude. But when I went to school and I started audio production, the introduction to audio production, they gave me a little PreSonus like 2-channel audio interface, an SM57, which I still use the same one for Cole's snare.
Yeah.
And then some Shure headphones. And then it came with Studio One, which is the DAW that I use.
Yeah.
It's now, I think it's like Fender Studio Pro. Now I think Fender bought it. But that was my first run-in with like recording digital and starting to use a computer for recording setting. And then that's what I've been using, ever since. So it kind of just, built on from there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this next part of the podcast Brendan doesn't know is happening.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I've slightly changed up how we do things now. So we're gonna quiz you on your knowledge of this album.
Oh no, this is gonna be awful. Yeah, no, this is like I said this is my biggest influence musically, which it totally is, and then of course like I don't listen to it ever since we talked about that. All right, let's see how this goes.
I mean, look, Tristan was terrible at it. Tristan went over.
Oh,
Zach
man.
went 2 or 3.
Okay.
Although there is speculation that he might have thrown the third just to be nice to me. But here's how this is going to work. I am going to quiz you on the album. If you are right,
Yep.
you get to ask me a question. It could be anything. However, if you are wrong, I have questions that I'm prepared to ask you.
All right, we'll see how this goes.
Okay. On which song is a banjo incorporated?
That would be Ty Cobb.
He knows ball. So go ahead. All right. I'm ready. You can literally ask me anything. So it's as long as it's not going to get me in trouble.
Josh, were you born here? Did you grow up here?
In Georgia?
Yeah.
No. I was not born here. I was born in New York.
Oh, okay.
And then we lived in New York for six years. And then we moved to Jersey.
All right.
Spent another 6 years in Jersey. My dad ended up, like the last couple of years while we were in Jersey, the only job my dad could find was a gig in North Carolina. So my dad lived in North Carolina 5 days out of the week, and then on Fridays would drive back to Jersey to be home with us on the weekends. That started to just get to be a little bit much on him because, like, I mean, it was a 10-hour drive from North Carolina.
That's a crazy drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what brought us down here because, we have other family down here and stuff like that as well. And so, yeah, no, I've been down here since 2011.
Oh, okay.
And then spent a year up in Virginia running track in college and then transferred back here.
Nice.
So,
cool.
Yeah. A little lore about Dave. All right. Talk to me. Let's go back to college. when you were talking about just like producing and all that stuff, and this might go like off the trail in terms of music, but I feel like it's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
All right.
Talk to me about your frustration with college and why you were just like, this is kind of pointless. Not saying that college is pointless.
If you're in school right now, I'm sorry. I mean, no disrespect.
No disrespect. Depending on your degree, you might want to stay in school.
Yeah, for sure. If you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, stay in school.
Yeah. But if you just want to be a child on the weekends like us,
yeah, you could probably just figure it out. Yeah, no, man. I mean, you're excited because you just got out of school, and then you're going into school, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I just got about, I got like one semester in.
Yeah.
And I was doing so much looking stuff up on the internet and like researching things while I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of realized like I could figure all this stuff out with YouTube and with like hands-on experience.
Yeah.
Or I could figure it out at school and for the same, kind of taking the same path knowledge-wise, owe $100,000 or whatever it's going to be, some ridiculous amount of money I won't pay off. So I think that was actually probably like my first real experience with being like, oh, this is a major institution or way of life that we do that's like just inherently flawed and messed up and predatory and so
where did you go?
I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Went to the Art Institute of Atlanta. Like my professors were cool and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just realized it would put me in a lot of debt for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was the thing. Like my freshman year, I went, like I was saying, like I went to a school in Virginia, which I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I originally went to school. I thought I was going to be a lawyer.
Hey, dude, sometimes you have an idea of what you want to do, and then you go actually figure it out later.
Like I thought I was going to be a lawyer. Yeah, no, like in high school, I was super, super into like public speech and debate and all that stuff. And like, I'd won like some international like competitions and stuff like that.
Nice.
And so like, that's when the whole thing with the school, and so like I got there and they recruited me to be on the debate team, and I was like, oh, this is awesome because like I want to be a lawyer and all this stuff, and like I've interned before and I thought it was really cool. And then I got there and like, dude, I've never hated something so much.
Yeah.
Like, just I'm all for like reading and all that stuff. I'm not trying to say don't read. Reading is a very important skill.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very important to just do in general. But the amount of reading that I had to do for law school, well, it wasn't even law school. It was just pre-law. I couldn't take it, man. It was terrible. It was like literally like the most draining thing, and like I would never do it because like I don't want to do this. And so I was running track already, and so I kind of just dropped the debate team and was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I care way more about just doing the track stuff and kind of figuring out my stuff and figuring out what I want to do, because like clearly this isn't it. Dropped out after my freshman year and transferred back to Georgia, and only reason why I pursued my degree was because it was cheap.
Yeah.
Because I graduated from UNG, and so I was like paying like the first semester I had to pay like a couple grand for the whole year.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
And then I got the Zell Miller scholarship after like a semester, and so like after that it was like literally for a semester, like each semester was like maybe like $300-500. So I was like, okay, like I'll do that.
Yeah.
But to your point though, because I still feel like when it comes to college stuff, and like I love every last one of my professors at UNG.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've taught me a lot, and like I wouldn't change it, and I wouldn't do it over or anything like that. But I also know that like college can be a very interesting spot, because like if you don't really want to do what you're doing, you end up just like wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
And money.
For sure.
We got really in depth about that.
Oh no, it's part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like it. Yeah, that was kind of like my thing with it. It was just like I enjoyed it, but also like the amount of people that I knew that went to film school, and that aren't doing it anymore. Whether it's just because it's just like, oh, like I've done what I've wanted to do and like I'm good, or it's just like this isn't really necessarily for me. It's just, like I feel like there is so much learning, and like I know for me when I was in college, there was so much learning that I did. I learned, like I said, this is not to knock my professors, but I learned so much just doing it.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Fucking kinesthetic or whatever. Where it's like your learning types.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm a very kinesthetic learner.
Yeah. I've got to be involved in something to pick it up. Like I've got to really be like, hands on doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was the thing. Like, and so like, I feel like college can allow for that, but I feel like a lot of times that stuff isn't really allowed to you until you're an upperclassman.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just like, yeah, so much of it. Like a lot of like the freshman classes and stuff like that I took, it was just like
Raining.
Yeah, because like by the time like when I was taking them, I was already working with an agency full time, and like
Oh yeah.
I was like already. Well, I wasn't working full time, but I was like I was a contractor for them, and I was working with them consistently, and I was like I had like a real role on set. I wasn't just a PA. So like I was learning so much because I'm like hands-on, like doing lighting, doing camera stuff, doing directing work, being an assistant director, producing all that stuff, and I'm gaining all this knowledge. And so like I'm coming back to school and I'm just like,
this ain't it. Yeah. Yeah.
So when did you make the decision to leave?
I want to say I think it was after like a full year. Maybe it was like I got through like 2 semesters, maybe 3 semesters. I think it was probably 2. But I had an offer to go on the road with the band that was going on tour and play guitar with them. So that was like I was already coming to the conclusion that the things that I was going to learn while in school or while trying to do what I wanted to do, I was going to figure it out without school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already kind of there, and then this like tour opportunity just kind of like pushed me all the way in that direction. Then I got out of school. I was just kind of hanging out at home. And then I realized that I really, really didn't want to go on the road with this band. And it just, my heart was just so not in it. And it was not at all the type of music that I like to play, or not even really that, but there's just going to be like just no challenge, and I didn't vibe with the people that I was going to go on the road with. So I dropped out, and then the reason I dropped out, it was like, I'm not going to do that either.
No, I'm not going to ask for names. But what was like the genre of music that they were trying to play?
I mean, it was kind of like maybe alternative metal a little bit. Definitely with like some hip hop influence, which I got no issue. Like I love like new metal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like I love Linkin Park and things that are like that. But I just didn't like. It just wasn't in me.
What they were doing.
Yeah. I just knew that I would go out and I would get like 3-4 shows in, and I would just be like hating my life.
Yeah.
So I ultimately didn't go through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's real. So like, what did you do after that?
Went to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you kept playing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think at that point I was kind of like in between bands.
Okay.
So like I started actively writing and like recording demos again. And really trying to like, like we were talking about before, like really figure out my voice and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I really was just kind of like at home working, doing music stuff, trying to figure out how to make art in a way that, I was just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like during that discovery period, like what were like the things that you like drew from, and like that kind of like, because like obviously like you always have like people in your life that kind of like help guide you and stuff like that, but I also like, I mean, I'm not a musician. I will never claim to be a musician, but like also like music very much for me has just like, there are projects that just help guide me.
Yeah.
Or just stuff that I've just like, take a lot of inspiration from and all that stuff. So like during that discovery phase, were you still just like, were you like buried in like Soundgarden, or like what were you listening to? What was helping you kind of guide that path?
I was listening to so much during that time period. Super heavy into Soundgarden. Really getting into Pearl Jam too for the first time.
I have a hot take about Pearl Jam.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, initially I was very like Nirvana, Alice in Chains heavy, like as a kid.
Yeah.
And then that time period where I really got into that Down on the Upside, I was also really getting into Pearl Jam. Also really listening to my whole life too, leading up to this, but really like heavily into Incubus too, which I think was that had a big impact on me vocally.
Love Incubus.
And guitar wise too. Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a lot. Listening to Incubus, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, definitely listening to Deftones. Yeah, that kind of thing. Tool, a lot of Tool, Perfect Circle.
All right, you ready? You ready to be quizzed?
I guess so.
Okay. So this time I'm going to have you guess some lyrics.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, no. All right. What am I guessing? Is this like fill in the blank, or are you gonna?
Yeah, fill in the blank.
Okay, all right.
Like be like finish the lyric essentially. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right, finish the lyric. Fell too far to start again. Start again. A sudden snake.
All right, hang on. Na 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 na. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Found my shape and tells the world.
Oh, God. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
off of Tighter and Tighter.
Yep.
Okay. So now I get to ask you a question. Give me, like, it could be any current artist. We're gonna go with any current artist. Who's a current artist that you really like, would love to play a show with?
Any?
Yeah. And why? Like put together,
Like
Endovia's included.
Mm-hmm. Like local or non-local?
Anyone put together. Endovia has to be included. Put together the perfect bill.
The perfect bill?
Yes. Endovia's headlining.
This is tough because there's so many people that I appreciate and also don't feel like Endovia should be headlining.
You're headlining. I booked the show. I made you guys the headliner. Deal with it.
Dude. Probably Bo. I want to play with Bo.
You play with Bo?
If we could, run back the album release, throw Bo in there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I love Bo. He's a fantastic dude, and
Bo's the man.
their band is freaking
They're so good.
I hadn't seen them live until recently. I saw them at Smith's for
the Cash Honey.
Cash Honey's album or single release. And then I saw them at Jersey Peach too, and they're just
Bo's a powerhouse.
Yeah, monstrous.
Like that dude is
band, just huge sounding.
It blows me away.
Yeah, they're
like
so tight.
I remember the first time I saw them, and I just also will never forget the first time meeting Bo.
Such a sweet dude. Like
the nicest person, and he's telling me about how he's getting ready to drop this album or getting ready to drop his EP. And I thought it was really cool, and I hadn't checked out his music yet, but I'm looking at him and I'm just I'm really intrigued to see how this goes, because it's not even a knock. It's just I don't think anyone the first time seeing I know for me the first time seeing him, I was not expecting him to come with that amount of just energy.
Oh yeah, man. He just turns it on when he gets up there. You're you meet him, and then they get up there to do their thing, and you're like, wow, this is coming out of those guys right now. This is crazy.
And it's just the sound that they have. They're so dialed in.
He's really putting it on. He's super super smooth, dude. They're just
yeah. No, they're so good. They're so good. Love you, Bo.
Love you, Bo.
Let's talk about the album.
All right.
Let's talk about its influences. How much of your Soundgarden influence played into that. We could talk about the recording process, just your production approach to this album. But let's start with the influences.
What influenced this album, or who?
Yeah. Let's see, in terms of if you want to talk about Soundgarden, and just maybe we're talking about Down on the Upside, talk about just some of those things that you picked up from that album that might show itself into y'all's music, and
Yeah. I know that album, that Down on the Upside, is very, like, all the songs are so different, but it's still them.
yeah,
And I think that's kind of an important philosophy for me putting an album together, maybe. A lot of it is just like whatever is going to come out of me that I end up, we end up putting into a recording, and it just, to a degree, it was just going to be that way. But I definitely feel like throughout the album, like, I feel like it's us, but, not necessarily different versions, but we're just, we're doing different things throughout the album on the songs. And I was really happy it came together that way. I don't feel like it's just like the same thing all the way through.
No, it's good pacing. It's really good pacing on the project. And I also am just like, I'm always a sucker for like really good intros and really good outros for albums. It's like the first and last tracks are always like very big to me. And the first and the last tracks are like two of my favorites off of the album.
Oh yeah.
So like, I mean, Bled My Heart, Chef's Kiss, Love You Tomorrow is like,
Really?
dude,
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
so good.
That's awesome, because we were nervous about, we weren't sure if putting something kind of slowed down at the very end was the move or not, but
I think it's the perfect way to end it.
yeah, we were like working out the order for just rehearsing it, for playing everything at the show, and it just kind of like naturally came together that way, where we were like, okay, yeah, we like, after playing it through beginning to end, we were like, this is definitely this feels like the order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like that was just like, it made sense to me that was going to be the last song on the album.
Awesome.
Yeah, it just made sense. Because like, I'd seen it, you've played it live a couple times, and I've seen it, so like, I've seen it. And like, every time I've like heard it, in my head, it just felt like a closing chapter, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you go through all this stuff on the album, and and it's something me and Zach also talked about in terms of like cohesion to albums. It's like a really, really big thing, because like I'm a huge start to finish album person.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
And so like I want to feel like I'm going on some kind of a journey. And the album does that. And like, which is why like that last song, I think, was just like the perfect way to like kind of send it off.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
But sorry, I kind of took you away from I wanted to blow smoke up your ass. So
oh man.
But no, talk to me though about, just talk to me about like what were you tapping into? What were you being pushed by when you were making this?
Oh man. Honestly, like, so we kind of have like a mix of ways that the songs come together for us. There's some things that we're standing in the room together, and we start jamming, and something kind of builds and turns into like an instrumental version of something, and then I'll take it home and try to work some vocals on top of it. Sometimes I'll just kind of like demo something at home and then bring it to the guys, and we'll do it that way, and it's kind of a mix. Sometimes Chet will come with like a whole demo. That's how Moonstruck came together. Chet kind of pieced that together like instrumentally, and then we all worked on it together. And so it's kind of a mix. But it's really just like, I don't know, it kind of just, I think, so, trying to think about how to say it. I think we find ourselves in like moments sometimes where we're able to like tap into something, or something's like tapping into us, and we kind of have to like harness the moment,
Yeah.
and try to like get something down,
Yeah.
and then it's just kind of like gone again.
No, when that inspiration hits you, you kind of just gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yep. Yeah. So it's kind of just, we're all doing life and like everybody else is, and something will hit based off of what maybe everybody's got going on at the time, or one of us in the band has going on at the time, and then it starts coming together as an idea, and then it turns into a song. And we just kind of took the handful of times that was able to happen for us over the past couple of years, and we organized it into an album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of like already started to talk about it a little bit. I want to go back to it just because I want to like kind of really focus on that. Talk to me though, like what are the things that we're gonna like, if someone's listening to Down on the Upside and then go straight from listen to Down on the Upside to Delusion, what are some of like the parallels that you think that are there?
Oh, I don't know. I think, oh man, that's a tough one, because I'm going to have a hard time trying to, I don't know.
Yeah. Or even if it's just Soundgarden as a whole.
I think that there's like a rawness to their albums that there's a rawness to their music in general that I feel like I look for in my own music.
Yeah.
Like recording wise.
100%.
I don't like stuff that's super polished and overproduced. I want to like hear the room, or feel like the intensity of a moment someone's trying to convey.
Yeah.
And not just like, I like the rawness of somebody, whether they're live tracking or they're just, it's just like about the song. It's not about like, necessarily the, how great not great, but like how, like I guess, like I said, polished the recording is, or like a cool riff or whatever. Like riffs are cool, but like I like hearing a song. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like dynamically, I take a lot of inspiration from them, so I feel like I don't want to sit here and say like you could hear the correlation, because that would be hard for me to say about somebody I view as like a hero of mine. But
okay, well then,
but you dynamic wise, like taking it on a roller coaster ride, kind of bringing it down when it calls for it, and then kind of making it explosive when it calls for it, and not just coming up and staying here the whole way through, just really like
that roller coaster.
Yeah, the roller coaster ride of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's real. And like that's, like listening to the album, that definitely makes sense, cuz like, cuz like I, knowing that we were going to sit down and talk about the album, I like went ahead and like, brushed some of the dust off of that record for me. Like listened to it and then went back and listened to the album, listened to y'all's album. And yeah, like it's for me, I definitely hear like in terms of that dynamics just throughout the album of like that general pacing. Ooh, I'm gonna wait to ask you that. But yeah, like just the dynamics in terms of pacing, but then also definitely like, and we had touched on it earlier, but like, you know, your vocals, like you draw a lot from Chris Cornell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like obviously it's not like I'm comparing Chris Cornell and all that stuff and all that shit, but like also at the same time, like you also do a very good job of what you're doing. You know? What? You do a good job of what you're doing, man.
Thanks, dude.
I'm just being honest, bro. Like, but yeah, no, like it's the moment you told me that, yeah, Soundgarden is a major influence for me. Like, I think I've told you this before. I didn't need to hear from you that Soundgarden was a big influence to know that Soundgarden was a big influence on you. It was like it was Halloween of 24.
Oh, it's Smith's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got there a little late and I came into you guys playing New Faces. And I was like hearing your vocals and I was like, oh, this dude's a Chris Cornell fan. So yeah, let me quiz you again.
All right. Oh man.
This one I think you're going to get this one because I am just going to play a song.
R.I.P.
I'm gonna play the first and
then I'm gonna be dumb and then I'm gonna forget the name of the song because I'm on. All right. We'll see how it goes. Never the Machine Forever.
The Machine Forever.
Never.
Oh, you think it's never The Machine Forever?
It's not, is it?
No, it is not.
No, hang on. Hold up.
I'll give you a mulligan.
Thanks. Fuck, dude. I'm only blanking because you asked me this. Bro. This is awful. This is terrible.
Are you waving the white flag?
Dude, hang on. It's not Apple Bite. Dude. Yeah, I've got it. As soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, I hate myself.
And unkind.
God.
So?
I'm a bad fan right now.
Hey, you got one right.
I got one right.
You got one right. Tristan didn't get any right.
He didn't? None of them?
I don't think so. No, he did not get any right. I literally
one.
felt bad for him, so I let him. Yeah, I just like he had gotten them all wrong, so I let him ask me a question just out of pity. Yeah, Tristan, you a fake ass fan, by the way.
What was his pick?
Oh, it was Alter Bridge 3.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that dude loves Mark Tremonti.
The dude's a G.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This is always a fun one.
All right.
You get three people as a dinner guest.
3 people as a dinner guest?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
You don't have who'd you want?
Oh God. I feel like. Oh, dude, why? I'm doing a terrible job answering these questions today. 3 people as a dinner guest. Do I get to? Can I resurrect Kurt Cobain?
Yeah.
Can I bring him back to life?
Dead or alive. You could
Dead or alive?
whoever.
You know what? I'll just take. I still got time with Eddie. You know, he's hanging around. So
yeah.
So I'll just take Lane, Kurt, and
Chris.
Yeah, just revive all of them.
Ooh, that would be fun. Would you just do dinner, or would you take him to a show as well? Dinner and a show.
No, I would take him to a show for sure.
Okay, if the 3 of them,
I'm taking him to everyone in town's show, no one excluded.
Okay, I like that. We're gonna keep going on this one because this is just fun. All right, so. I always ask you this facetiously because I know the answer.
Uh-oh.
But I constantly will just playfully nudge you and try and get you to go into the pit.
Oh.
If Chris, Cornell, Lane, and Kurt all look at you and like, brother, hop in this wall of death.
Yeah, I got to.
Okay.
Yeah, got to.
Okay. So that's what it's going to take?
Yeah, wouldn't pass up. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm not cool enough. It got to be Kurt Cobain.
Dude, I do it. All right. I do it 1 or 2 times a year. Yeah. Dude, I'll go flying, man. People knock me right over. Oh man.
All right. Boom. Okay, so we've talked about like vocally and just in terms of like dynamics and like how you control and use your voice and how Chris Cornell has influenced you. Would you say that he also influences you with just like your writing?
Oh yeah, like just in general?
Like your songwriting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so? Because like your lyrics, not all the time. Because like there are some songs where it's like it's very much to the point, but then also like some of your lyrics can also be a little ambiguous.
Yeah, I definitely. I can be a little vague intentionally. You know, I want to be able to like sing about the things that like move me or that I got going on or whatever. And everybody else be able to relate to it too. You know, like there's specific meanings and everything for me. But I leave it like a little bit vague lyrically so that somebody might, you know, relate to it similarly, but not so specific where they, you know, like they can't relate to it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you find yourself like talking more about an emotion or like situations? Because like I feel like that is also like a big thing when it comes to like how people will write. I feel like sometimes people will write and it's strictly like it's speaking to a situation that people can relate to. And then other times it's you're writing and the stuff that you're writing speaks to the emotion that could apply to so many different things.
Yeah, I probably lean more towards the latter.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. I'm usually talking about the way that I feel and not like a particular thing that's happened. For sure. Yeah.
100%. So what's next, man?
Now we make another one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have y'all already started?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're probably maybe 5 or 6 really solid ideas in.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're probably next month at some point we're just gonna jump right in on tracking the next one.
Oh hell yeah.
Yep.
No, that's gonna be sick. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm ready to. I love these songs. I'm ready to not move on from them, but get into some unknown territory again
Hell yeah.
with the guys.
No, what is? Let me ask this. When it comes to this album, Delusion,
Mm-hmm.
what were you wanting to get across, or what were you wanting people to perceive?
I don't know if, honestly, I don't know if I was really trying to have it come across any kind of way or anticipating like how people would perceive it. It was more so just like
I might have used the wrong word with perceive.
yeah.
I think it's more so like
What was I don't know. What were you gonna say?
like what were you hoping people would take from the album more so? Like it's not necessarily like oh like I'm trying to guide a specific narrative with this album, but more so just like okay, yeah, I made this album and like this is where I was at when I was making this album, and I wonder if people will feel that the same way, or it's just like, like I'm, or just anything in general, like, just strictly just talking to like more so just like that tonal narrative of the album itself.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that I would say that I probably spend a good amount of time kind of, fighting my own mind.
Yeah.
So I didn't really I didn't know what to expect from putting it out, but I knew that there was like something in me that I had to get out there.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hoped that anybody that did relate, maybe we, in a way, would kind of like bond through the experience together, or I would be able to, we'd be able to like relate with each other. That's always like like the hope. But yeah, I mean, I just had something that we kind of needed to get out and work through and do it through music, and that's how it
Yeah.
that's how it all came together.
No, absolutely. No, it's like like I feel like listening to the album, and that's one of the it's one of the fun things I feel like as a as someone that's like as a fan that gets to listen to his friends make stuff. Like obviously like I have my own personal relationships with you guys, but also like it's really cool being able to listen to the music because it's also like another form of communication where it's just like because of those personal relationships you can kind of like be like, oh, I kind of see where his head is at here, and like some of the things that you're trying to get across and some of the emotions that you're speaking to and stuff like that. It's it's a really fun thing being able to like listen to that stuff. It's like I feel like I get to listen to these albums and like get to know you guys a little bit better.
Hell yeah.
But dude, I can't thank you enough for being on the pod.
Oh, dude, yeah, thanks for having me.
This was awesome. Had such a fun time just, shooting the shit and being silly and, getting in depth and talking about the dangers of the collegiate infrastructure. But, dude, Brendan Page and Dovia, vocals, guitar, production. This dude is a freaking powerhouse, and more people need to know it. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, dude.